normally wouldn't document this, but I figured maybe it'll make a good video. So we just bought this clapped out 90s Honda Accord for $250, and we're gonna see how much we can flip it for. It's got some big dents, a lot of cosmetic issues. But yeah, I figured we'd record the process and see what we can sell her for. You know anything about being a shiesty salesman, the first thing that we do is take the catalytic converters off. I'm not sure if this one has a catalytic converter here, but it definitely has one under the vehicle. So we're gonna pull this heat shield off first and see if we can find one here. Pull the heat shield off and it does not have a catalytic converter here. So it's just the one under the car, which is good because I didn't want to have to build a downpipe. But yeah, we'll get the car up in the air and get it all cut off. We got the car in the air to cut the cat off. But while we are up in the air with it, we're gonna try to get this dent out. I'll try to do it with one hand so I can record it, but I think I'm gonna have to pause it. We'll come back with the dent reveal. For brute strength, we got the main dent out. These little dents, there's not much we can do about that. But I think the before and after is quite noticeable. So yeah, anybody who wants to make some money, that's your catalytic converter right there. That's what's worth the big bucks. Normally you can unbolt these pretty easily, but those bolts are not moving. It's just not happening. So I'm gonna cut it on this side of the flange here, and then cut it before the flange over there, so I don't have to deal with any of those hangers or anything. And then yeah, we'll come back after we cut through it. If your blade is too long for the application, just take an angle grinder and just cut the tip off. And then yeah, now you get a blade that does what you need it to do. The catalytic converter off. The only problem is I'm not sure if it's an OEM one or if it's aftermarket. I found the numbers, but they don't really match up with Honda numbers. So we'll see really quick. I'm gonna message my guy and see what it's worth, if anything. The cat isn't worth anything scrap value, so I'm just buying this just to replace it. It was an aftermarket cat, so it's worth maybe like $40 resale. It burns a bit of oil, so we're gonna try a product to stop it. It won't focus. We're here at Mexico Tire, since all our footage is filmed in Mexico City. We're gonna go pick up some paint, and then yeah, we'll get working on the car again. We got a new pipe in its place. We just got to get the welder out now, weld that in. This unfortunately was an aftermarket cat, but on a positive note, we can now advertise this as having catless downpipes. Yeah, the JDM boys love that. Status update, we got the exhaust done. Maybe it leaks, maybe it doesn't, but it doesn't really matter. We're gonna keep the welder out because there's a few things on the body that might need a little bit of welding if we can, but yeah, we'll get going on some body work, I guess. Actually gonna wait on the body work for a sec and put some of this in here real quick to fix that little bit of an oil leak she has. All right, in goes the magic honey. Oh yeah, that stuff's thick. Oh yeah, now she's happy. No more oil burning for her. Another issue that I've noticed is somebody has taped all around this, and I'm not gonna fix that. I'm just gonna make it look less bad. So I'll be back once I make that less bad. Could you guys tell where the problem was? No? Should I show you? Whoa, that's way better than blue. You can't even tell. So the one thing about flipping cars is you're never really trying to fix the problems per se. You're trying to make them good enough that people won't complain about it. So will I ever make that factory? No. Will I make it look better than it is? For sure. Same with all this. I hope this, right? We're not here for perfection. We're here for better than garbage. This is a problem. It's a broken window. I don't know how to go about making this better because I don't want to pay a glass guy. So we'll figure something out for that, maybe. And the rest is pretty easy. We're gonna get the wheel back on, and then we're going to wash it to see what the true damage is that we have to deal with. They don't recommend you do this, but when you have a lot of corrosion, you can kind of blast the engine bay out. Perfect, brand new. So we washed the car, which revealed a lot of scratches. There's a lot of areas that haven't dried yet. That'll need some good Bondo work. But for small stuff like this, right, nice surface level scratches, you just take some match paint. Just erases all those little surface level scratches. So instead of spending thousands of dollars getting a new paint job, it's really all you gotta do. Nice little cover up. See that? I don't know how well it's coming across on camera, but all these little scratches are just gone. Just don't exist anymore. 100 videos on how to use Bondo, but that is the step we're at. We're just gonna fill some of these larger gouges, which I don't know how they got here, but we're just gonna do that. We've already mixed our Bondo up, and now we're just applying it nice and good. I'm gonna fill it in nice and thick, just everywhere, because, well, there is some deep gashes, and that's part of the fun, right? So it's a little bit tougher in some of these other little areas, like in here where there's pretty big dents, because you want to go really thick, but at the same time you want it to cure. So you can't go super thick, but it is a good place to start. By going kind of thick on your first run, just get a nice base. It doesn't have to look pretty because you're going to be sanding it all, right? So you get that spot there. Sorry, it's hard to record and do this at the same time with one hand. Fortunately, cameraman is in the big city today, so he wasn't here to help with any of this, and that's fine. It's independence. See, we might have put a little too much of the curing. Jesus. Yeah, you might have put a little too much of the hardening agent in because it's already getting hard to work. So that might be a bit of a lost batch. That's not usable. This might be. We'll see. Fight the putty. No, that's not usable anymore. So we'll just have to live with that as our first batch being not very good. We're out of Bondo and I don't feel like fixing it anymore, so we'll have some gap in there, but it doesn't look bad. All right, we did as much body work as I feel like doing. Doesn't look great by any means. It honestly looks pretty trash, but it's better than it was, barely, but it is a little better than it was. Most of the scratches are gone, which is nice. Still a big dent there. I can't fix that. There's just no way to fix it. Yeah. I don't know. Not sure what to do with this back window. Might just leave it, honestly. But yeah, it's a car, all right. It's definitely a car. It's not great looking. And we'll see what we can get for it. All right, well, we got her all washed up and got some pictures from Marketplace. We're gonna list it up and then we'll be back with an update if it sells and for how much we can get for it. Oh, she's a runner, ladies and gentlemen. All right, a little update. Just sold the car. It didn't sell for as much as we wanted it to, but still made some money. And it at the end of the day, it's a absolute piece of garbage. So what can you ask for? We'll do a full price breakdown at the end of the video here. But yeah, I thought I would give you guys an update on it being gone.